What do you think is on the mind of Fed Chair Jay Powell right now and his fellow FOMC members?
Well, it's exactly as Steve was saying. They're trying to see what is enough progress, what is substantial. They haven't really defined that very clearly, so that leaves them a lot of wiggle room. And so they'll be looking not only at the headline numbers, but into the details. What's happening with hours worked? What's happening with wages? What's happening in the different sectors? So I think they're going to look at all those different pieces, not just the headline numbers.
The Fed, gentlemen, seems to have communicated about as effectively as one could that a tapering, a pulling back of bond purchases is coming. Does it really matter when it starts, Randy?
Well, I think it does make a bit of a difference when it starts. I mean, one plus or minus 1 month is not going to make a big difference. Right. Plus or minus 6 months or a year makes an enormous difference. Yes. And especially given that there are a lot of people who are very concerned about the potential for inflation, with the economy coming back pretty strongly, and the labor market does seem pretty strong. I mean, a lot of people are quitting, and you only see a lot of quits when people are pretty confident in it. And so I think it makes sense to, certainly lay the foundation at their next meeting and then start sometime later in the year.
What would you make, Randy, of a miss in the morning? I mean, what would you look at to tell you whether it was sort of a bad miss because demand is slowing or a good miss because people just can't hire the workers they need?
That's really, really tough question to answer because you only see the number rather than seeing whether it's supply and demand. We know that there are an enormous number of jobs open. Job openings are near record levels. We know that people are willing to quit their jobs. And so it's sort of hard to tell. But even if the number is a little bit lower than expected, just like the ADP number was a little lower than expected, I would interpret that more as it's difficult to attract people in to get the jobs rather than the jobs aren't there.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.